Coming to you from the Fox Sports 1270 studio in downtown Palm Springs, this is the Coachella Valley Sports Report with your host, Coach B.
Don't forget to tune into the Coachella Valley Sports Report Saturdays, 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1270 a.m. from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 a.m. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Pretty excited about today. Today is going to be a jam-packed show, CV. I tell you, typically in the summer, things get a little light, but not this episode. So today we got a jam-packed. We have the new coach, the new head football coach from Xavier Prep, Coach Karls in studio. We have some more of the Palm Spring Power gentlemen outside in the lobby, and then another coach, and this is Coach Asu. He connects everybody. Another coach that's going to be coming in. He just texted me, said he left the camp. I tell you, coaches never stop coaching. They never stop working, and that's Coach Avina. He's on his way. So I tell you, it's a jam-packed show. So typically, I go on and I rant for about 5 or 10 minutes, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to go right in because we just got too much to go. But, Coach, we want to go ahead and let's bring you in, Coach, and do justice. Go. And I said your name sounds like a famous person. I love the name. But go ahead and introduce yourself to the Fox Sports Radio audience, Coach.
I am head football coach Michael Karls of Xavier College Prep.
And your first year going into Xavier Prep, and we were kind of talking about this. That is like it's like the jewel of the valley. I mean, great school, great building, great facility. You guys produce great talent. Stephen Buxton, who is with the Palm Springs Power play-by-play, he went to Xavier, loves that school. Yep. How excited are you to be the top guy now at Xavier Prep?
It's just an exciting time to be at Xavier College Prep. We got a bunch of guys for this football season that we're really excited about, and we're excited about the direction that we're going to bring the program. Right, we're trying to build our own culture and our own set of standards to Xavier College Prep football, and hopefully that we can take that as long as we can.
And one thing that is great about you is you don't talk about it like the kids would say. You be about it, because in 2009 you won a CIF championship. So you're from the Valley. You're not an import. You're from the Valley.
Correct.
You went to Palm Springs High School. So what do you think that experience can teach you? Are you still in contact with your coaches?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. And even Coach Gorey, the head football coach over there, he was my DB coach when I was over there, right? So it's very funny, like how the lineage of coaches in the Valley and how you can be tied to everyone there. But yeah, I love all my coaches at Palm Springs, and definitely have taken a little bit from everywhere I've been, especially there at Palm Springs, and winning the school's first ever CIF championship there has made a real impact on me. And it's proven to be, listen, I would never have expected I would be a head football coach, and now being in this position, I really understand like the true value of having good coaches in young men's lives, and being able to have like an impact on them is incredible, and what they can do with it after they're done with high school.
And I know we're going to talk Xavier. We're going to do that. But how excited were you about Palm Springs, that run last year, like with Jordan and things like that, and how great of a season they had over at Palm Springs?
No, it's awesome. And it's funny because we do off-season football in 7-on-7, and I had a few of those guys. Like I had Bishop and I had Jordan Johnson, right? Like and being able to see how those guys used to work and how their mindset was, I was like, that's exactly what Palm Springs is. Like, we don't care who you're going to line up in front of us. We're going to just go out there and play our game and do the best that we can.
And they just snuck up on everybody. So, and the great thing about it, they're just so nice. But tell me a little bit about this. And this is the Valley is special. Sometimes, if someone has athletic talent like yourself, they'll want to go off, get out of the Valley and go somewhere else. But why is it so important for you to come back home?
Well, it's to show that, because it is difficult in this Valley for kids to get seen or get looks from different colleges, right? But being a guy that was able to go out and, I went to the Midwest. I went to Fremont, Nebraska to be able to play college football, right? And so just showing kids that there are plenty of places to be able to find, if you truly love the game, if you truly want to continue playing on Saturdays, like there are places that you can go as long as you're committed and you know what it takes to do that.
And being a kid from the Valley, that had to be something, because out in Nebraska, they have this thing called winter.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
so that had to be an adjustment for you to get out there and get the snow and whatnot.
No, it was crazy because there would be days where it would be negative degrees out, but the sun would be out, right? Or like, there's snow on the ground and you're trying to walk to class and hoping you don't slip in the ice, right? So, yeah, no, definitely a big adjustment. And, it's actually fun to be able to see the different seasons, right? Because like in the valley here, it's always kind of like a beautiful day, or in the wintertime, like it's 60 degrees out, and that's nice. Like compared to other places, you get to really see different types of cultures and really get to learn from other people. That's what I love about football. It's such a melting pot, especially in college, because you get all of these guys, they were all the greatest on their high school teams, or they were all the greatest in their area or their district or whatever it is, but you're all on one team and one common goal, and you guys can kind of bond over that.
And you're right on that. It's sports are like the American dream, because when I played sports, I didn't care what anyone's nationality was. I didn't care. Can you help us win?
Right.
That's all we wanted to do. And you learn lessons from sports that live with you for the rest of your life. I'm competitive because of my time with sports, and I just absolutely love sports. But tell me something about you. I know you're competitive, and you guys had a great camp out there. Tell me about that camp. It was the first year you guys did it over at Xavier. You got some new ideas, some fresh thought. Tell me about that, and what was the thought process of doing that camp?
Yeah, so growing up in the Valley here, we never really had anything that was like high schools putting on like a youth football camp, right? Or, I played PDLQ football growing up, starting in junior micros at 6 years old, and, it was just always kind of, you worked on your own, or, there was never really anything that, brought kids to a camp or anything like that. Or even if there was, it was, something that you had to pay for, right? So we wanted to give our youth an opportunity to not only work on their football side of things, but also like see what it takes to be a high school football athlete, right? And see like what it takes for our guys at Xavier and what they have to go through, and this step-by-step process, because it is kind of a grind, especially now this day and age. It's you're getting to a point where you have to balance school, and you have to balance sports, and you have to balance like your social life as well, right? We want to be able to develop well-rounded kids, right? We always talk about at Xavier is we care for the entirety of the player, or the entirety of the person. It's not just what can you do for me on the football field, but how can I help you off the field as well? How can I help you in the classroom, right? We're not transactional, we're transformative over there. So that was the biggest thing, is to be able to give these kids an understanding and to see like what it takes. Like if you truly care about your high school sports, right? If you really truly care about like being a student athlete, these are the things that you're going to have to do to get there.
And it's starting to come through, because you have Jacob Van, who's going to go to Fresno State. So, I mean, that's a big-time program. They're going over to the Pac-12.
Yes.
So and that's one of those things. Or were there players that I saw some interviews with him, and he just looks the part. I mean, he looks like a D1 athlete.
No, and it's just so fun. Like Jacob, I got to give that kid so much credit, because it gives me chills thinking about it, because like he's worked so hard to get to that point. Right? Like when I first got hired, that was kind of one of my main goals, was like, how can I get more eyes on this kid? Because he deserves it. He looks the part. He has the right attitude. Like he's a well-spoken kid, like cares about his grades. He cares about all of those other things, taking care of his body, working out in the off season. Right. And, it was really difficult to be able to get schools to kind of like, nobody wanted to be the first one, right? Like, so once he was able to get that first offer, and then now the other ones are starting to roll in, and then now Fresno State came along, it was just like I couldn't be more proud of that kid. And it's not that it's not that he's like taken like a sigh of relief. Okay, now I've made it. No, it's now how much further can I take this? Like it's like it's gave him an extra boost of like, now I can really run with this, like, because now somebody believes in me. And that's what as athletes, that's all we want. We want people to believe in us, right? Our coaches, we want to make sure that they trust us on the field, and that they trust that what we can do is going to be able to win games and be able to take us for however long we want to go. But being able to have somebody on the outside, not just their head football coach telling them, yeah, you have it, but it's somebody that is not even anywhere near the Valley to say, oh yeah, that kid has it, and we believe in him, and we want him on our team.
And I'm sure that's something that you experienced as well. You were a high-level player, and you went to Midland to play football. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure those are lessons they taught you at Palm Springs that now you're putting into your kids. And that's one of those things that's got to be something that you can lean back on that experience yourself.
Yeah, sure. It was difficult because, when I was playing, right, I didn't really understand, all of the different things you kind of had to do in order to be recruited or to get on people's boards. I just always assumed, watching high school sports movies or listen about stories, if you win enough games, if you win your championship, you win the league MVP, all of those things, the recruiting part will take care of itself. But because a lot of these schools don't want to drive towards these windmills, right? They can stay in Orange County, or they can stay in LA and find the same player, right? But so now that I understand, we have to go to these camps in the off season or in the summertime. We got to take our kids outside of the Valley in order for them to get looked at. That's an important part, and that's what we're trying to do at Xavier, is get as many eyes as we can on our players. And it's I think there's the misconception of every kid should be thinking about going D1, or that's the ultimate goal. No, our ultimate goal is, can we get your college paid for? Can we get you, not if you have the talent and all of that to play D1, great, but we also want to make sure that the D2s and NAIAs, that's where I ended up, right? And I got a full ride scholarship to go play at Midland at an NAIA school, and we played in it would be considered the SEC of the NAIA. Every single team in our league was ranked in the top 25, right? So there's good football to be played. And a lot of my teammates, they were not a lot of them, but I played with guys that were, maybe their NCAA clock ran out, and so their only opportunity was to play NAIA. So we are playing with D1 talent at times, right? So it's not just about, oh, can I go D1, and that's that's the only spot that I'm gonna go. No, let's get you to a place that not only are you going to enjoy, but you can also pursue your college football career at.
And that's what's important. Once again, we have Coach Karls here on Fox Sports 1270 AM, Coachella Valley Sports Report with Coach B, and that's important. And I tell my kids all the time, I'm paying for their school. And I said, I got student loans that I haven't even paid off, and I'm paying for their school. I always told my kids, my favorite school for you, it's free.
Right.
And that's what's important. And now with the like you said, the transfer portal, going D1 isn't what it used to be. Now, if you have to go D2, D3, get your body healthy, get in the weight room, get that nutrition, and then you can progress up, because that happens a lot. That happens a lot to those kids. But tell me a little bit about Xavier Prep, who you were excited about. We talked about Jacob, but who are some of the other players in the pipeline that you're excited? Brian, you got to know about this guy.
Yeah, the first one that comes to mind is Joe Mejia. He's going to be he's basically our Swiss Army knife. He plays quarterback, he can play receiver, he plays DB. The kid is an amazing football player, smart on the field, knows how to get guys lined up, understands conceptually what we're trying to do as an offense and a defense, right? And a great communicator. Other guys would be Anthony Creek, who's going to be our running back in DB as well. We always kind of joke with him because he looks like Eric Dickerson out there, running the football. He's a big kid, right? And so it's just going to be fun being able to watch him. On the defensive side, also we have Luke Vermillion, who's a kid that plays safety for us, and he's going to play a little bit of receiver. He runs track, one of our faster guys, but he is not afraid to come downhill and hit people. And we also have a couple of juniors as well. Santino Canone, he had 100 tackles as a linebacker last year, and he's just continuing to grow. Other kids like Javi Angulo, he's going to be our left tackle this year and play a little bit of D-line as well. And all of these kids, the best part about it is they're great football players, but they also take care of it off the field as well, in the classroom, right? Like they're kids that we can approach our college, with our prospect list. We can approach them and say, hey, you don't have to worry about these kids with their GPAs, or you don't have to worry about like what's going on either. And that's like the beauty about Xavier Prep, and what is so nice about like having that kind of culture there is these coaches can come and they know what type of kid they're getting, right? Like other places the kid may be good at football, or he may be a good athlete, but you don't really understand what type of kid you might be getting. But when you go to a school like Xavier Prep, you know what type of kid you're getting, and that's what coaches want to be able to lean on.
And that's very true, because I remember last year when we were doing the game of the week, and we went there, we met with Clark, and we were just doing a walkthrough of the school and the football stadium, and when we were going to his office, there were kids there. I was like, "School's over." He's like, "No, that's study hall." So right. I mean, they take academics serious at Xavier Prep, and that's got to be one of those situations you said when a college contacts you, they know that they're going to be able to get in there.
Right.
There's no problem.
And the beauty about it is, like for our school, right, because we are so academic minded, right? These kids that have aspirations to go to certain schools or colleges, right? We put out for our senior class, it's a 98% acceptance rates to 4-year schools, right? So you know that they're going to be up to speed, and you know that they're going to know how to do the school part, right? Because like a lot of kids, when you get to college, you don't understand, like you're starting your day at 6 a.m. and you're not finishing it until 9 p.m. And that's like a tough structure to learn on the fly. So that's what we're trying to implement right now, is being able to put that structure in place now, so that way they aren't shell shocked when they get to college, right? Or like, oh shoot, like, my schedule is jam packed today. I have 6 a.m. workouts, and I might have a night class after dinner that I have to go to, right? So it's just all of those things that go along with not just being a good athlete, but also being a good student athlete.
And when they see the academics, they're gonna be like, "This is easy." They're gonna say, "This is nothing like
right.
Xavier's academics." So, but let's talk about the season. You start off on the road at RIM, beautiful school, beautiful campus, looking down at the valley, and then you have DHS. You have Serrano. That's always a tough opponent. You play Cat City, Yucca, you Palm Springs. You're gonna have them at home. You have PD, Xavier, La Quinta, and Shadow Hills. What are your thoughts about the season, Coach?
We're just excited to get after it. Like these guys are hungry for a good season, right? Like I think a lot of them believe that we kind of underachieved last year, and so they're very hungry for some wins, and to show the league like, hey, we might have not done as well as we thought so last year, but you have to look out for us, because there's tons of them. And there's tons of players that I didn't even name that are going to be able to make a big impact too, right? Like as an example, we're our quarterback last year, King Pelham, is now going to be transitioning to more of a receiver DB role, and just this offseason, like in 7-on-7 and stuff, he's flourished in that role, right? Like just being able to be another guy on the team, right? That's what we want. We're selfless players on our team, and that's the biggest part of developing our guys, is like you may not make the play now, but you're opening it up for the next guy, or like now when your number is called, you're ready for it, right? Offensively and defensively.
And that's a good problem to have, Coach, when you have so much talent where you're thinking to yourself, oh, I forgot this kid or that kid. Right. So, and I know next year you'll be in the upper, because they're restructuring the league, and you guys will be in the upper division.
Yeah, so we'll still be in the DEL playing all the top dogs, and like that's where we want to be. That's if you want to test where you are as a football player and as a student athlete, you want to play against the best, and that's what we're always striving for.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to it. The season starts off August 21st. Oh, that's my wife's birthday. So it starts off August 21st. That's going to be a fireworks. You're going to be up at RIM. So we're looking forward to it, Coach. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. Coach Asu, he really connected us, and he said, man, they've got some special things going over at Xavier. And I take whatever, he's so good at what he does. Whatever advice or he tells me, I listen to him, because he's a big man, and I don't want to upset him. first and foremost. But we're looking forward to a great season and see what you guys can all do this year.
No, I really appreciate it. Yeah, and the same for us. I mean, we just want to be able to show what we can do, because a lot of times we get looked over because we may have small numbers, but it's kind of like the 300, right? We may have small numbers, but our numbers are very impactful, and we can do a lot of great things on the football field.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, if you can build off of the success you've had, you guys have been building something for a while, and then you just tweak it. I see your excitement. I see the energy, and you're a local guy. And that's I think that's important for you to understand the talent out here and how to communicate with the kids out here, because you're not some guy that's just a fly-by-night that's looking to come here, get your name on a resume, and take off. They know you're going to be here.
No, right.
So that's important.
And that's like the beauty about it, too, is all of these kids are chasing things that I've done. Like this, I know where you guys are trying to go. I know where you're trying to get to. Like this is the blueprint, basically. Let me help you get to where you're trying to go. You want to win a CIF championship? These are all the things that it's going to take. You want to win MVPs and Offensive Player of the Years and all of that? Like this is what it's going to take, right? And not only that, but this is how we do it on the school side of it too, because that was a big thing for me as well. Like always making sure that I had a backup plan as well of like, these are my grades and these are good enough to be able to get me to any college that I choose to.
Absolutely. And you guys can get it done. So when you walk out there, Coach, when you say you want to get to CIF, just walk in with your ring and say, you guys want one of these?
Yep,
and then you can show them how to do it. But once again, Coach Karls, Xavier Prep, new high school football coach. Let's make sure this isn't the last time we have you in here, Coach.
No, I'd love it. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, Coach.
Let's do it. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B. We're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we are streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app, and we will be right back. An accident can change your life in an instant. One moment you're driving to work, the next you're dealing with pain, stress, and bills that just keep piling up. That's why you need the Injury Firm, the official law firm of Fox Sports 1270 AM and the Coach B Show, to step in and protect your rights. If you've been injured because of someone else's negligence, the Injury Firm should be your first call. Car accidents, slip, trip, and falls, dog bites, and much more. They will guide you through every step and work with you to get the compensation you deserve. They don't just talk results. They have recovered millions for their clients. So don't go it alone. Get a team that's on your side from day one. Call the Injury Firm today at 949-575-8875 or visit them on the web at injuryfirmlaw.com. Don't forget to tune into the Coachella Valley Sports Report Saturdays, 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1270 AM from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And as always, you can catch us on Fox 11 TV Palm Springs. And I'll tell you, we have the Palm Springs Power In studio. And I gotta ask my guy, Stephen Buxton. They must really like me over there. I mean, you guys keep coming back every single week, and I'm super excited about it.
You know, I mean, you're practically a local celebrity there at this point. I mean, we can't get enough of you, and, you know, they're just – at some point, it's like every day we're just figuring out who's going to the radio station this week and how much more of Coach B can we get out here.
I appreciate that. You brought two guys with you, and I'll have them go ahead and either one. Let's go from my left to right, your right to left. First, young man, go ahead and introduce yourself to the Fox Sports Radio audience.
I'm Alex Oliver. Let's see. I've played college baseball for 4 years now. I've graduated. I'm from Oklahoma. Played college ball in Kansas and Colorado. I've been all around, and here I am.
There you go. And then the next young man, come on, get up on that mic so the world can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Owen Michaelson. I'm going into my senior year at UNC Asheville. Been there all 3 years, and excited to be out in Palm Springs this summer.
Excellent. And one thing, and either one can answer, and I always like to ask this question because I always want to know, because Palm Springs is kind of it's almost like one of those things you got to kind of be from California to know about it, because I don't know how well people know about Palm Springs all over in other parts of the country. But what brought you guys here? What got you connected? Did you have coaches that knew owner out here, Starkey, or what brought you out to California?
Well, this season with CSU Pueblo, we had a series down at Cal Poly Pomona, and on the bus ride down here, we got out and stopped and practiced at the Palm Springs Power Stadium. And so that's how I got connected with Starkey. And then eventually that turned into coming down here for the summer.
And I tell you, that's the one thing about Starkey, because we did our high school baseball all-star game there, and they were giving out flyers. And, I mean, they actively recruit and make sure they get after it. And what about you, Owen? How did you get connected?
I had a couple, other opportunities for summer ball fall through for different reasons. And we had a couple guys come down here to Palm Springs like a few years ago, and Starkey was still looking for some players, and he texted my coach, and I was still available. And the only thing that I had told my coach is, like, I would just want to go somewhere cool where I can have, like, good experiences. And they're like, well, how does California sound? I was like, well, that sounds awesome. I'm from, like, North Carolina, too, so it's, like, all the way across the states. It's like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Never been out to Palm Springs. Like, let's go see what's up there.
Get out to California. When you talk about a cool place to be, you're not talking about weather-wise, because this is definitely not cool weather-wise.
No, when I got off the plane for the first time, it was like 74, and I'm like walking out of the airport, and I'm like, wow, I'm in paradise right now. Like, this is awesome. But then like a week later, it was 110. I was like, wow.
And the weather was just getting started. The weather was just getting started. So trust me. But how has it been for you guys with the experience in playing high-level baseball out here in Palm Springs?
It's been good so far. At the end of the day, it's just go out there and compete, and wherever you play, you know. You guys are wearing the same jerseys, playing the same game. It's fun. It's awesome out here.
And one thing interesting, Alex, I was just looking at your notes. You said you haven't shaved in 4 years?
The mustache.
Okay.
I haven't shaved the mustache. I'm too nervous.
Yeah.
I think my girlfriend would probably get a little mad at me.
Okay. So do you do the what is November? Do you ever do that with the beard? Yeah, do you do that?
With the beard? Not really. This is just, I think Owen actually got me on it. He kind of convinced me to grow it out and giving it a try. But with the mustache, that's how it came about too. Was No Shave November.
Yeah, and you just decided to just go with it, huh?
I'm way too scared to shave it off.
Yeah. It looks good. It looks good, man. And do you shave yours as well, Owen, or you gonna let it go?
I used to have a big beard, but when I got out here, like I had big beard, like hair down almost to my shoulders, and I was like, it was 110. And I was sweating my head off. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, dang, I got to change something. So I clean shaved the face other than the mustache and cut the hair down a few inches.
Yes. Yeah, and you guys are both from Oklahoma and North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So the one thing we've always got to ask when you get here, did you guys run to In-N-Out? Or, I mean, how did that go down? I mean, I know you guys had to go try it out.
Yeah. The first time I had In-N-Out down here was actually Starkey came and like one of the double headers, he brought like double doubles for the whole team afterwards.
That's how he recruited you.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how I got to stay. I was thinking about. I was like, it's hot out here, but then free double doubles, and I'm staying for the rest.
You can't beat that. So how's your experience been out here playing high level baseball?
It's been pretty cool. I got injured like one of the first like 3 games, and so I got like a whole bunch of time to really just like sit back and like watch and observe like how the stadium goes and how the baseball is. And I'm just getting back in, like played my first game back like a week ago. But like since then, like playing baseball out here has been a lot of fun. Like the fans are pretty good. Like the team itself is like a good dynamic. You know, we get out and we have a lot of fun during the games.
And, you know, athletes will say that a lot when they're injured and they get a chance to watch the game. Are there things that you think that you can see that if you're out there playing you may have missed, and then when you can come back and apply it when you're back out there?
You see a lot more like body language of other people whenever you're like sitting on the bench injured, because it's like you're out there and you're just trying your best just to still have fun, because like obviously it's pretty hard being injured. And like just watching the body language of everybody else and allowing the team to pick you up is like a huge thing that like I think you miss out a lot on when you're playing and you're worried about what you're doing.
Yeah, I could imagine. You know, Alex, one thing I always like to ask, you know, how was that, the host family, how's that going for you?
Oh, I've been loving this spot. I got Starkey hooked me up with a pretty good guy. His name's Douglas, and we've loved it so far. It's very open, very cool to talk to. Like it's not awkward at all. It's very comfortable, and I definitely got lucky with my host family for sure.
How about you, Owen?
We're together with
Oh,
Douglas.
cool.
This is my third host family. My first one had renovations, and I was only here because I got the call from Starkey pretty late in the season. So, like, I didn't have a permanent host family, and I don't have a car out here because it was like a 38-hour drive, and I wasn't trying to do that. But the first people, they were awesome. They renovated their house. I moved out to another family. They were also awesome and very inviting. And then his roommate got picked up by a pro team, and then my roommate left, went back home. So we were like, oh, might as well move in together. And 3 families, and they've all been very positive experiences.
That's pretty good. And, Stephen, that's one thing that I'm glad they mentioned that, because I know last year when we were broadcasting the games, players get picked up mid-season. And that's got to be exciting when you see those players go. It's at one of those things that you and Starkey, you guys send out film, or how are the pro teams getting it? Because that's got to be exciting for these players.
So it depends on what league, what player, what team. But a lot of it is they might be sending out TrackMan numbers, sometimes just between Starkey and Casey Dill and a handful of the other guys in the organization. They've got connections, whether it's the Pioneer League, Atlantic League, a lot of the independent leagues they've got connections with, and that's mostly because of the work not mostly, but a lot of it's because of the work they do with the California Winter League. So we've got it's partnered with the Frontier League as like the official Winter League of like the Frontier League or something. I can't remember what the exact phrasing is.
And for people who don't know, let us know what the Winter League is, because Starkey does baseball all year round. So explain a little bit what the Winter League is.
So the California Winter League is a basically 6 or 10 week showcase league in January and February. There's anywhere from 8 to probably 14 teams in it, depending on the year, and they play every day. There's baseball Sunday to Saturday, and they've got 2 games a day, and it's all guys who are trying to get professional contracts, trying to get, signed or, just get a scout looking at them, basically. Some of them have experience in professional leagues, whether it's Pioneer League, Frontier League, a lot of the independent leagues. And then some of them even have been drafted, and some of them have been playing, as high as AA, AAA with actual affiliated ball in the minor league system. But we'll get a good crop of players from really all over, whether there's sometimes a guy or two who are straight out of high school, and then you'll have guys who, like last winter, we had a guy who was one of Vanderbilt's frontline guys for a couple years, and career took a different path, and he's coming back, and I'm pretty sure he got signed to, I think, the Atlantic League. I can't remember exactly. But, yeah, they bring out – every single team is coached and managed by a professional manager. Like last winter we had they bring back the Power for that as well. Last winter the Power were managed by Aaron Miles, the manager for the Oakland Ballers, who he was coming off a championship run with that team, and he broke the Pioneer League win record. But you'll have managers who have MLB experience like Jimmy Johnson. You'll have managers who have – we had one who's working with Baseball United out in Saudi Arabia. You've got a lot of the Frontier League, Atlantic League. So it's a lot of independent ball specifically, but yeah, there's a ton of connections there. So a lot of those relationships, guys will text around and, hey, do you have an arm here? Do you have an outfielder there? What are they looking like? Send some film, send some TrackMan numbers. So that's a lot of my understanding on how it goes. There might be another backdoor way or some secret that I don't know of. I'm not in those conversations, but from what I hear, it's a lot of those relationships and that trust that's built over the last 10 or so years.
And that's the one thing about Starkey. It's funny because when we had the La Quinta coach, when we did the All-Star game, I said, hey, Starkey, I was going to introduce him. And Starkey already knew him. I mean, he knows everybody. When it comes to all the high school baseball coaches, he knows the players. He knows professional, minor league. So he gets it. And that's the kind of guy you want to work with. And I'll ask either one of you, what are your goals with this? Because I know you've graduated. Alex, you've already graduated. But what are your goals now going forward, getting in a minor league system? And baseball has the best system because you go minor league and then you'll go pro. So I love the way baseball works. You can play it all over the world. Right. But what are your goals now? What are you looking forward to doing now?
I think it's exactly what Steven just said, talking about those independent leagues, the Frontier, Pioneer, American, all that stuff. Coming out of college, I talked with my coaches at the end of the year after season, and we both thought, give it a shot, because we thought that it was better to try it and not get it than not do it at all. So the end goal for coming out here is to get that professional contract with one of those teams.
There you go. How about you, Owen?
I'm not too sure about pro ball for me, but summer ball for me is one of my favorite things ever, because it's you come out here, you experience a different culture than where you're from or where you've been playing, and you just meet a whole bunch of new really cool guys and really cool people that surround the team and help you do what you do, and go play somewhere like Palm Springs. I'll probably never come out here unless it's to vacation. It's now I'm basically working out here. It's pretty cool.
Well, the one thing about California, once you get here, you get hooked, and you're gonna when you go home, you're gonna think about it the rest of your life. I got to get back to California. And they just created the Ballers in Oakland are new, and then they just put a team in Long Beach. Long Beach, I know the Regulators is what they're called, but I forget what their real name is called.
The Coast.
Yes, the Long Beach. I mean, Steven knows everything about baseball. And they play where the Dirtbags play, the 49ers.
Yeah, they're playing at the Long Beach baseball stadium.
Blair Stadium, yeah. And it's pretty cool, and that's where I call them the Dirtbags. That's what they call them. That's what they call them. That's what they call the Long Beach baseball team. They call them the Dirtbags. So, but you, Steven, you were talking about you guys got new cameras and whatnot. So I heard you when you started. I heard you in the lobby talking about it. When you started talking technical, it went over my head. But they got new cameras installed this year, huh?
Yeah. So actually, that's what I spent all day yesterday doing. We hooked up 4 new cameras. So we've got a high home, a center field, and then first and third base. Those should be operational tonight, hopefully, as long as nothing goes wrong. I'm going to go to the stadium right after that and get that all hooked up. But it's kind of like a test run trying to see how it works, because they're these AI cameras that are supposed to be able to track the ball. But it's basically, to me, it's just a really cool new toy to see how it works and how to, get just more cool stuff for the broadcast. So that's actually going to be really interesting, because at bare minimum, it offers us more stuff to do. And it was part of, you talked about Starkey and the organization's, relationships with everyone. This is just another one that's a preceding relationship with Valley Sports from the Winter League, and they brought out 4 more cameras. We've got one of their guys, John Polmar, who's going to be working with me today on it again. And yeah, so new cameras. We're getting a new controller for those, and it's just we're basically revamping the whole broadcast again. So for me, you won't see me, objecting at all. It makes my job a whole lot better.
That's exciting, and that's the one thing. You're a local guy, Xavier Prep alumni, and you keep coming back. This is your fifth year with the Power, right?
So it's my 3rd season with the Power, but this is my 5th internship, because if you include the 2 winter leagues I did as well. So 3rd summer, 5th time being a Power intern.
Yes, and you've seen it grow. Adding those cameras, and now you're with Bally's. Your career is really starting to go.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a lot of that is just, the kind of things that you don't think about it a lot. You don't think how big of, an opportunity or a door, something specifically with Bally's is, but then, one night I'm just sitting there thinking, wait, they don't hate me yet. They don't want to fire me. They still have me on staff. This is kind of cool. Okay, this can lead somewhere. And I'm really excited for where that can lead specifically, but for the organization itself and just for what the broadcast is, how we're handling everything. Over the last 3 years, it's just grown exponentially. And personally, that's something I'm really proud to see, and that I'm really just stoked to see the production level on that kind of stuff just get higher and higher from specifically where we were my first summer.
Yeah, you can't beat that. And you think of Bally's. Bally's is on in Southern California, and it's on in Vegas. But I'm pretty sure doing the Fox Sports 1270 AM high school game of the week is a better accomplishment for you, right?
That's actually front page on the resume. I'm going to all employers and telling them, hey, I ran the scoreboard for that game.
There you go. Well, I certainly appreciate you all coming in, gentlemen. I know you guys got to get to the stadium. Who do you guys have tonight?
Tonight is the SoCal Mavericks. It's another CPCL team. They just won last night. I wasn't there. I think the score was, 16-5?
Something like that, yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
All right. Well, I'll make sure you guys go out. It's 7 o'clock start.
5 o'clock start because it's getting pushed up early because we've got Micromania Wrestling right after that.
Oh, that's tonight.
Yep.
I was trying to get some of those guys in studio because I know that's a big time. So good stuff. And what time does that match start?
That'll be about 20, 30 minutes after the final pitch.
Okay, there you go. Well, if you can get out to the ball club, get out there. It's Palm Springs Power. Go ahead and check them out. You said 5:15 start tonight.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock start tonight at Palm Springs Stadium. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in again. We certainly appreciate it.
Of course.
And like I said, California's open. If you guys want to stay, we've got room. So by all means, stay. So thank you guys for coming in. That's a Palm Springs Power. We certainly appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and take a commercial break. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure you check us out Friday mornings on Fox 11 TV. An accident can change your life in an instant. One moment you're driving to work, the next you're dealing with pain, stress, and bills that just keep piling up. That's why you need the Injury Firm, the official law firm of Fox Sports 1270 AM and the Coach B Show, to step in and protect your rights. If you've been injured because of someone else's negligence, the Injury Firm should be your first call. Car accidents, slip, trip, and falls, dog bites, and much more. They will guide you through every step and work with you to get the compensation you deserve. They don't just talk results. They have recovered millions for their clients. So don't go it alone. Get a team that's on your side from day one. Call the Injury Firm today at 949-575-8875 or visit them on the web at injuryfirmlaw.com. Don't forget to tune into the Coachella Valley Sports Report Saturdays, 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1270 a.m. from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I'm your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure you check us out Friday mornings on Fox 11 TV. And I'll tell you, this has been one of those days, just local athletes, local people galore. We had Xavier Prep in earlier. Coach went to Palm Springs. We just had Stephen Buxton from Palm Springs Power. He went to Xavier. And now we have another local guy in. Coach, introduce yourself to the Fox Sports Radio audience.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me on. My name is Miguel Avina. I'm a local guy, coach at Eastern Oregon University, where I'm the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach there, man. I went to La Quinta High School, and I'm from here, so happy to be on.
How was it? And Eastern Oregon's great. Weather's great. It rains too much for me. But what is it like to be back home?
It's been great, man. Every time, I get a chance to come down for the summers or winter and everything, I try to make sure I'm getting some work in now. Yeah, Eastern Oregon, like you said, it is a little bit different weather, and getting used to the heat here at 100 degrees has been adjustment for sure.
Getting readjust readjusted to it.
Exactly.
So when you get back, do you go to the box? Do you go to TKB? Where do you go when you get back?
Oh, man, when I get back, first stop is my mom's kitchen and my wife's mother-in-law's kitchen right there. So we got to stop there. But honestly, my probably favorite spot here, man, it's got to be Mai Tai for some pad thai.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my little spot right there, man.
You missed that. So tell me a little bit about this. How does this go? You go from LQ to being the offensive coordinator at Eastern Oregon. That's something that people in the Valley, that needs to be shouted from the rooftops, the success that you're having at that next level.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I did my 4 years at La Quinta High School, and then got the chance to go and play college football at Whittier College in L.A. 4 years there. And then once I graduated, I knew I always wanted to kind of get into the coaching game of college football, but I started off coaching high school football at Shadow Hills High School. That's where I first got my start in 2021. And then once that season stopped, I kind of took my next chance to be a volunteer assistant coach at Austin Peay State University in Tennessee, and was a graduate assistant there for 2 years. From then went to UTEP, where I was the quarterbacks coach last year, and here I am at Eastern Oregon now, man.
How cool is that? And LQ can do it. I know you were watching Major over at LQ.
Yes.
He's at Utah now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, man. And that's my biggest thing. I think there's so much talent here in the Valley, right? And people don't want to drive past those mountains, but my biggest thing now, being at a place where I can come and recruit any kid in the nation. I want to recruit here especially.
Now, I know maybe we shouldn't publicize this because you might have an advantage because, like you say, people don't want to drive past those windmills. So I know for you're saying, hey, that's okay. That's cool. Don't go past those windmills. I'll go do it.
Right.
And how has it been getting the talent from California to get them to Oregon and get them out of the Valley? How's that process been, and who are some of the big names that you got? Or can you say who you're working on? Because I don't want you to give anything away now.
No, I necessarily can't say the names just from recruiting stuff, but there's a ton of talent at every school here. I've been blowing up all the high school coaches here in the Valley. Hey, please send me your recruiting list because I want to recruit guys from here, right? And my biggest thing, man, at the end of the day, I would love for every kid to go school with me, right? But as long as kids from the Valley are getting out of here, that's my biggest goal, right? Like every kid that I've been training with or working with from, private quarterback stuff and everything, like I tell them, like, please let me know how I can help you in recruiting. If you need to learn how to put a Twitter bio together, if you need to learn how to message a coach, I want to help you. Like that's my biggest goal is for kids to get out of here and go get a free education, go and at the end of the day, walk across that stage with a degree, right, and set yourself up for life.
And that's pretty cool. It's just we had Coach Karl. He left. I don't know if you saw him. Same thing. He said it because he went to school in Nebraska. Same thing. He wants kids to get out of here and go to school for free. I always told my kids my favorite school for them is free, and that's what's so important. But tell me a little bit about Eastern Oregon. What do you guys? What brought? Is that something a sell you had to go back and tell your coach and say no? I need to get back to the Valley, and we need to get some players out here. How have they received the talent from out here?
It's funny because all the coaches that I'm with there are from Washington, Idaho, right, Oregon area. So when I got there, they didn't really recruit California other than JUCOs, right? And so I told them, I was like, look, where I'm at, like, there's a ton of talent there, right? And they were more than open to go and receive that. And, hey, just send me the guys that you need me to go and watch. And so, I've been sending them multiple kids from here and at different positions, different classes and everything. And, man, they're excited about just kind of the uprising of talent that's coming through here, man.
And there's talent out here to have. Like we said, Major, who went to LQ, now he's at Utah. The Pazos brothers, one of the Pazos, I think he's going to COD now. So, I mean, there is definitely talent out here. Right. But tell me about your journey. What was that like? Is that one of those things where you can go back and tell one of the student athletes, because you went to school in L.A. and Whittier, so you had to get out of the Valley as well, because there's no major D1, D2, D3 out here. But is that something that you could tell your student athletes, hey, I know what it's like to get out of the Valley to get an opportunity to play football?
Yeah, I think my journey's been unique. I think going through the process of recruiting, I didn't know what to do. I was the oldest sibling of three, and I was kind of the test baby, if you may say, and I got the chance to play La Quinta, started for 3 years there, and then was looking for an opportunity to go. I could have went to Ohio at another Division III school, but I want to stay close to home and have my family be able to see me play. And then, I think the cool part about it was my little brother, who went to Palm Desert as well, Zach Avina, and helping him kind of go through his recruitment process and seeing him get some, big NAI offers. And then, he had the opportunity to go and walk on a Division I school and play there too. And so just kind of seeing that process. And that's what I want to give back to these guys is like, hey, I'm in it right now. I can show you how to do it. And at the end of the day, I'm not guaranteeing you, hey, you're going to go and play at Ohio State or Texas or this and that, right? But still, ball is ball anywhere, right? And especially nowadays with the portal and, hey, if you go and play at an NAI school like mine and you ball out for a year, you might be at a Division I school because you just put it on tape,
Right, and that's one of the things, I love to get that from a college coach's perspective is nowadays when you hear these kids, if it's not D1, they don't want it, Right. And now with the portal, I mean, I know they're changing the clock now where it's 19 and your 5-year start because it was getting out of hand. You have 26, 27-year-old kids playing, transferring in, but a lot of kids now, sometimes you have to go D2.
Yes.
Just to get in there, get in the weight training, get the nutrition, and then you can move on to that D1.
Absolutely. And that's the unique thing about it too, I think, is that, kids, especially here or wherever, like, hey, go play where you're wanted, right? And bet on yourself. And it's almost kind of like those schools are almost essentially, if you want to go live the D1 dream out, great, if that happens for you. But if you're playing and you're successful at those D2, D3, NAIA schools, hey, now you give yourself an opportunity to go and maybe go reach a Division I FCS school or FBS school, But I think at the end of the day, it's go where you're wanted. And if, those guys want you to go play and you have a chance to go play right away, especially, shoot, man, why not take it?
Yeah, and those are the things that you have to do. And I'm looking at your bio now, man. This is really clean. I mean, these are the things when you can go back and you can sell to a kid and you can say this is where you could be. And then also, I'm just so you know, and I'm sure your brother would like this. We're the younger brother. We're not the little brother. So we are the younger brother. But Eastern Oregon, what do you guys got going next year? What are you most excited about for the team going? It's your first year there, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is my first year here, and the thing that attracted me to the job originally, like I said, I was at UTEP coaching quarterbacks at the highest level, right, at Division I, and I wanted to take that chance and be an offensive coordinator, right? And I think the thing that attracted me was looking at their stats. I'm a big nerd when it comes down to football. I want to know what's the stats of every single thing that's going on. They gave up 14 points a game on defense, which was top 10 in the country, right? On offense, they averaged 13 points a game, right? Didn't manage to a lot of wins, but I come in there and I'm thinking, you know what? If I can get this offense rolling, shoot, man, we can put ourselves in a position to go win a conference championship, go put ourselves in a position to go win, a national championship. And I think, Coach Taylor, our head coach there at Eastern Oregon, he's a great man. And, he has the direction of the program going the right way. And, a lot of our staff actually played at Eastern Oregon. So they want to see that place winning. And the community does. It's 13,000 people, but man, everybody in that town is all about football there, man. It's awesome.
And that's got to be pretty cool. When you think of that journey that football's taking you, 4-year starter at when you were at Whittier College,
Yes,
you were at Shadow Hills, and like you said, you were at UTEP. What is that like? That's one of the things you think about. And you were at Austin PV State University as a graduate assistant. What is that journey like? When you're going from Texas to Oregon and you're at Whittier, and a lot of people don't think about that when it comes to sports.
Yeah, it's a grind, man. I mean, just being able to go and play right away as a freshman was something that I was excited for, and just credit to my family for always supporting me, and my wife we've been together since high school and everything, always pushing me in the right direction, right? And then when I got back here and wanted to start coaching college football, man, I can't tell you how many letters I wrote to college coaches with my mom, my sister, and my wife now, just mailing or getting them all together and mailing them out and shipping them out. And I heard back from one person when I was getting ready to go coach college football, and that's why I took that chance at Shadow. And going in after that season and stuff, going and taking a volunteer role at Austin Peay State University, knowing I'm making zero money and just going and trying to bet on myself, right? And the support I had from my family, man, like I wouldn't be here where I am today without those guys, right? And
right.
So it's been a great journey. And going as a graduate assistant, man, you're the lowest man on the totem pole. Sometimes people aren't going to see what you're doing, but the cool thing is, man, what's done in the dark comes to light, and it's been fun just kind of going on this journey and looking back where I started and where I'm at now, and I can't wait to see where God takes me.
And it's nothing like the coach's wife, and think about that. When like you said, you bet on yourself. You've been together since you were in high school at Shadow, LQ. I'm sorry, LQ. Yeah. At LQ, you coached at Shadow. But what has that support been for you to have her there and encouraging you along the way?
Man, she's the best. My wife Nicole, she was a water girl when we were in high school, so it's been cool I always got the high quality water. That's all I know. But no, it's been awesome.
She probably put a little Gatorade in there.
I hope
put
so.
the Gatorade flakes in there.
There was something in there, and so. But no, it's been awesome. She's the best. She makes me better in every single way. And she's been there at every single game in college and every game in high school and every game that we go to. She tries to make it, and she. Every time now it's going to be a little bit different with me calling plays. So, I'm not only going to get the head coach talk from my head coach, but I'm also going to get the head coach talk from my wife and telling me, hey, why do you keep running it up the middle? What are you doing up there? So it's been pretty cool to kind of see her kind of grow her knowledge of football even more as well, because she really knows what's going on. So if I have a bad call, I might hear her from the stands.
Yeah. And what people have got to understand, the dive play is the most important play in football. If you can control that line and you can – and that's what I would love. I remember when I coached, they called me Coach B because I coached my son's team. When we would get 4 or 5 yards on a run, I would get so excited. Yeah. But, everyone in the stands wants to see that 20-yard run and this and that. No, because you get 3 downs to get 10 yards. Mm-hmm. And if you can get 4 or 5 per – you're going to get 10. Right. And then you could do it again, and then you grind that other team out.
Exactly
so,
right.
And on the offense, one of the coaches that I love was Pete Carroll, Norm Child, and how excited they were. Who's your inspiration for calls in coaching?
Man, probably offensively, honestly, it's been a lot of the coaches I've been around. That's where I've gotten my style from, just from an offensive system standpoint. But I've always liked Andy Reid. You know, I love the system that he runs with Patrick Mahomes and even Donovan McNabb back in the day, right? But just being able to spread the field out and throw vertically, and then also have a run game behind it, right? Like you talked about, running the football wins you championships at the end of the day. And, you know, I tell our guys that, like, the offense we run is a spread and shred, and we're airing it out. But, you know, we're playing with wide splits, and we got to be able to run the football at the end of the day, especially in the fourth quarter, man. We're leaning on dudes and everything, and we got to be able to do it. And that's why, you know, our biggest thing there is, you know, having different running backs and different guys that can carry the football, right? We have short, fast, twitchy guys, and then we got those big thumpers that, you know, third, fourth quarter, they start weighing on you, right? Yeah. And that's the most important thing at the end of the day is, can we run the football? And then, you know, you got speed on the outside to be able to go and burn one-on-one.
There you go, Coach Avina. I absolutely love it. But, I mean, when you were there, when you were at LQ, and you were playing football, could you ever thought that football would have taken you on this great journey all across the country?
No, we were talking about it earlier, and it's insane, man. Like, I wouldn't think, you know, going and recruiting in Alabama, going and recruiting in Mississippi or in Tennessee, like, you know, in Ohio. Like, I've seen so many different states and so many different stadiums and everything, and I wouldn't think, you know, being at La Quinta High School as a young freshman playing football and getting yelled at by the great Coach Armstrong around, that this would have taken me here, man.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And, I mean, you are a testament of, you know, I love your story. And that's when Coach Asu told me about you, we wanted to get you in studio because you're a local guy. And once again, you show that it's possible. And I think there's nothing like seeing someone who's done it before. Representation is important. And do you think that's is that an honor and a privilege for you that now you can come back and say, oh, look at this, guys? Mm-hmm. You know, because if you tell somebody like you're terrible in sports like Coach B, you can coach and do something like this, or you can talk on radio. But what is that like when you can come back and show the kids, hey, this is what you can go? Because there's so much more than just playing sport.
Right.
There's so many things you can do.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome because, you know, back when I was playing, it was hard. You know, you don't always see those people coming back to the Valley. Once they leave, you know, people leave, right? But I've always, you know, had a big heart for here and in general, and wanting to give back to the community at the end of the day. I think that's the most important thing for me. That's what my parents taught me, always to give back to people in general, right? And that's what I'm trying to do here at the end of the day. Like, you know, I played Division III football, and it's great and all, but, like, man, I want to see kids go and play Division I football and go do that, right? Or go play for me one day maybe. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I just want to be a vessel for these kids to be able to help them and support them at the end of the day. Like, I tell every kid, man, just get me on my Instagram, get me on Twitter, and message me, and I'll message you back and make sure I can help in any way. Whether it's, hey, Coach, how do I do this drill right? Or how do I do this better? Or how do I message a coach? Whatever it may be, I can help in any way, I'm trying to.
And, you know, I'm glad you mentioned that. So let's say there is a kid right now that's in the 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, whatever, and they don't know how to get there. They don't know what to do. What are some of the tips and advice that you would give that kid that's looking to get recruited and get there?
Yeah, I think the first thing that you got to start off with is academics, right? I think that's the most important thing. You know, everyone wants to be the Division I player, right, at the end of the day. But, you know, your academics are going to carry you to those D2 scholarships, D3 scholarships, right, NAI scholarships at the end of the day, right? We're looking for kids that if they have above a 3.0, they're going to get some academic money in their pocket, right? And, you know, hey, we're paying a kid a full athletic scholarship. Hey, now that money's going to your pocket, buddy. But, you know, I think that's the most important thing there is getting your academics in line, right? And then at the end of the day, your Instagram and Twitter are your resume, right? We have resumes as adults to go in hand and get a job. That's what your resume is. You know, you got to make sure your Twitter, your Instagram is clean, right? Not having anything that as a coach, I'm looking at your social media and I'm like, oh, hey, this guy's having pictures of this and this and this. I don't want to see that. I'm not going to go and recruit that guy now, right? Or, hey, I'm going to be real with you and be like, hey, dude, you should probably take that stuff off, right? We've had instances with coaches that they've had stuff on their Twitters and Instagrams or whatever it may be, and we're like, hey, we can't hire you, man. But that's the next thing, right? Making sure your social media is up to date with, hey, here's my height and weight. This is the position I play. This is the high school I go to. Here's my coach's number. Here's my phone number. Here's my email, right? And then your film link, right? I think that's the other thing to have there. And then, man, you can't post enough on your social media, especially on Twitter or X. You can't post enough on there of, hey, here's all the drill work I'm doing. Here's me throwing routes, like especially like quarterbacks. I love seeing these guys throw from a certain angle, but posting all the work you're doing. If the people think you're a workaholic, then they're going to want you, right? They're going to know they're getting a great kid that loves ball, loves school, and then we're going to call your coaches, and they're going to reaffirm that.
And that's one of those things that people, I've heard that before. Coaches are more looking on X than Instagram.
Right.
So X is the preferred place for you guys.
X is the most preferred, but I'm still going to go find that kid's Instagram and be like, all right, hey, what is he tagged in? What's going on his Instagram? Because at the end of the day, shoot, man, that might be the difference between you getting a scholarship and now, hey, you just lost that opportunity because you're doing crazy stuff.
Right. And kids have got to understand that includes the music.
Yes.
That includes all the wild things that they're doing.
Everything, man. It's so important because at the end of the day, we're investing in you, right? We're going to go give you a scholarship, and we don't want it thrown back in our face with, hey, this is what this kid's posting and this and that, and now we can't invest in you. You know what I mean? It's a big thing because we're putting so much money into your scholarship, paying for your school and everything, and, you're not doing things the right way. That could just ruin it like that.
And that makes sense. So that's another reason I wanted to get you in here, because kids have got to know this, and it's one thing about peer pressure. You want to do this, you want to do. Thank God social media wasn't around when I was in high school because, oh my goodness, I thank God that stuff wasn't documented. But yeah, we definitely appreciate you coming back. We appreciate you fighting for the Valley because there's some talent out here. There's some legitimate talent out here, and we'll make sure that we get you plugged in because I'm sure you cover the Desert Elite Showcase,
yes,
and
sir.
then also we did a game last year. It was Imperial Valley versus Coachella Valley, and I'll tell you there's some talent out there in the Imperial Valley as well. So
I just got done offering 3 kids from there.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know you can't give the names, but yeah, like one of my friends who was a coach there, he was at Brawley, and he said it's like Texas. He said because there's nothing out there. And when we did our All-Star game out there, it's almost like they shut the city down. It was just an All-Star game.
Right.
So it's great market. So Imperial is a great place to be. I love it. They have a chip on their shoulder because they're in San Diego, but San Diego didn't really respect them. It's kind of like the Valley.
Yeah.
Like out here. It's like, the IE and all those other people, they overlook them. So yeah, it's a great place to recruit. So
No, for sure.
But Coach, we definitely appreciate you. How much longer are you going to be here in the Valley?
I'm here till the 4th, man. So I got one more week and just trying to get some more training with some guys and everything, and hopefully make a couple more offers before I leave.
And if kids want to get a hold of you and they want to get to you, LQ alumni, what's the best way to get a hold of you, Coach, to get you some film and get you some information?
Yeah, my Instagram is, Michael Avina 13. That's the best way to reach me there. And then if you guys want to follow me on X, it's Coach_Avina, Avina.
There you go. The offensive coordinator at Eastern Oregon University. We love it. Get the kids out of the Valley. Get them to see something different,
Absolutely.
So a great place to go. So, Coach, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate you, and thanks for coming back to the Valley.
No, thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. And what a show it was. We had the new head football coach for Xavier Prep in. We had the Palm Springs Power in. They're like always here, so you love it. Love to have them here. They have great stories, kids from all over the country. And then you have a local guy, Coach Avina from LQ, now the offensive coordinator at Eastern Oregon. So, kids, make sure you keep your social media clean. But let's go ahead and get out of here. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studio on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Make sure you check us out Friday mornings on Fox 11 TV.